Hello, people. I have finished a book, Cruelty and Civilization, the Roman Games. Some books are like so unremarkable that I don't even want to do the video. Uh, this book was kind of short, but it still took me a hell of a long time to get through this thing. 210 pages. I should be able to read that in a frickin' week, the weekends when I do most of the reading. But on a weekday, I can kill off 30, 35 pages. It's another book that I had started previously. Uh, this one is not that old. I bought it this year. I've been to King Book, which is the big used bookstore here in Detroit. I've been there twice during the lockdown thing. And I did go yesterday, so I got 3 new books. I don't have to look through my shit book pile. The author's name is Roland Aguet. It ends with a T, but it's a French name, so you probably don't pronounce that T. A lot of times I'll Google the author. I Googled Roland Aguet, and this is the only thing that comes up. So Mr. Aguet was one and done. He after he wrote this, his friends probably said, "Look, Roland, don't ever write a fucking book again." At one point, he compares, this is about gladiators, and really I got it because I was interested in the animals, and the gladiators fighting the animals fighting each other, and prisoners and Christians being thrown to the animals. That's interesting to me, and I was pretty happy there was actually an entire chapter devoted to that. I've also wondered where the fuck they got these animals, and there was actually a chapter devoted to that too, but he manages to not give me much information. He's another guy that uses this descriptive writing style, and at one point he compares the gladiator, the one that has the net and the trident, he compares it to a spear fisherman under the ocean, warily circling a fish, and when I read that, I was like, oh my God, this is almost enough. There's only a few notes in here, very few. Oh yeah, and if that wasn't irritating enough, he uses Latin. There's Latin sprinkled around throughout the book, and it's not translated. And then he will give you the definition of a Latin word one time, and then he'll begin to use that Latin word instead of its English translation. He claims that the rhinoceros was the deadliest beast, especially when animals were fighting each other. However, the rhinoceros had to be goaded into the fight, and the rhino would rather charge, and he would rather do a false charge than actually do the fighting. But according to this guy, the rhino could even take on an elephant. I don't know, was it an Indian elephant? Was it a female elephant? I don't know. I'm interested in the tigers. It had to have been hard for them to get tigers. And at one point, the guy says the tigers were relatively rare in the Colosseum, or the arenas were sprinkled all over the place. They were in North Africa, they were in Italy, they were in France, they were in England. They weren't really in Germany. They tended to build forts in Germany. And then at another point, he talks about like a bill of fare from a ship that's bringing back a cargo of animals, And according to that, the tigers make up the bulk of the cargo. So he's a little bit indecisive there on that. And there's really nothing in here regarding the great debate about who would win in a fight, a lion or a tiger. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go to any YouTube video that talks about that, and the comment stream will just be chock full of people lined up on one side or the other. Of course, the tiger's a little bit bigger, but lions are they're more, they fight for a living. Tigers may go their whole life without getting in a fight. So it's still undecided there which one is better. Anyways, I'm going to put this shitty-ass book on the shelf, and I'm already like 50 pages into another book. I got 3 books for $23, and the first one I've started, so far it's very good. So hopefully the other 2 are good also. One of them is a novel, too. Thanks for watching.